This is part 7 for solutions. In last video, I started solutions of non-volatile solid solute in volatile liquid solvent. We also discussed Raoult's law applicable for volatile component or solute. As both were volatile components A and B, so we were writing PA is equal to P naught A into XA, PB is equal to P naught B into XB, where PA is the partial pressure, vapor pressure of the solute A or the component A. P naught A is the vapor pressure of pure component A. XA is the mole fraction of the component A. PB is the vapor pressure for the component B in the solution. P naught B is the vapor pressure of the pure component B. XB is the mole fraction of the component. Now we'll see what happens when a non-volatile solid solute is added to a volatile liquid solvent. Consider a container in which we have a liquid which is the solvent. Now, for convention, generally solute is taken as B, solvent is taken as A, or solute is given the number 2, solvent is given the number 1. So, in this we have taken the solvent A. To this, we will be adding the non-volatile solute B. Now, because of the vaporization process, continuously the liquid molecules are getting converted to vapors which are present on the surface of the liquid. Now these vapors are exerting some pressure on the surface of the liquid A. This vapors or this pressure in equilibrium is called as the vapor pressure. As the name itself is vapor pressure, the pressure due to vapors of the liquid in equilibrium is called as the vapor pressure. Now when the solute B is added, some of the surface liquid molecules of A are occupied by the solute molecules or solute particles B, as a result of which less number of liquid molecules are getting converted to the vapors, and as a result of which the pressure is also reduced. So the overall effect is, due to the addition of the non-volatile solid solute to the volatile liquid solvent, the vapor pressure for the solution, for the solvent in the solution decreases. Earlier it is P naught A is the vapor pressure of pure solvent when the non-volatile solute is not added. PS is the vapor pressure of the solution, which is obviously due to the solvent because solute particles are not at all contributing to the pressure. So PS is the vapor pressure of the solvent in the solution, or it is simply vapor pressure of the solution. Now PS is less than that of P naught A. This lowering of vapor pressure is due to the addition of non-volatile solid solute to volatile liquid solvent, and this is called as lowering of vapor pressure. So we can derive Raoult's law as, because we have taken two components, we can call it as a binary solution. We can write vapor pressure of the solvent in the solution is equal to vapor pressure of pure solvent into mole fraction of solvent in solution. Same thing as we have written, PA is equal to P naught A into XA. So vapor pressure of solvent in the solution can be simply written as vapor pressure of solution. That is PS is equal to vapor pressure of pure solvent, we can write it as P naught into XA. So PS by P naught is equal to XA. Now XA is equal to NA by NA plus NB, where NA is the number of moles of solute, number of moles of solvent, NB is the number of moles of solute. Similarly, XB can be written as NB by NB. So X in place of XA I can write 1 minus XB, because XA plus XB is equal to 1, or XA is equal to 1 minus XB. So PS by P naught is equal to 1 minus XB, or I can write 1 minus PS by P naught is equal to XB, or P naught minus PS by P naught is equal to XB. P naught minus PS is called as lowering of vapor pressure, because P naught is the vapor pressure of pure solvent, which is greater than that of vapor pressure of solution, where PS is the vapor pressure of solution. This happens due to the addition of non-volatile solute to a volatile solvent. P naught minus PS by P naught is called as relative lowering of vapor pressure. because P naught minus Ps, the lowering of vapor pressure with respect to P naught, the vapor pressure of solvent, is called as relative lowering of vapor pressure, which is equal to relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute. We wrote P naught by Ps is equal to XA, or Ps Ps by P naught is equal to XA, or Ps is directly proportional to XA. That means vapor pressure of solution is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the solvent. Mole fraction of the solvent, because A is used to represent the solvent. Now when we plot a graph between vapor pressure of solution, that is Ps, and mole fraction of solvent in the solution, we get a straight line passing through the origin. That is, it is directly proportional. Next, we'll go for colligative properties. The properties which is shown by dilute solutions depend only upon the number of solute particles. And independent of their nature are called as colligative properties. Again I repeat, colligative properties are exhibited by dilute solutions containing non-volatile solute particles, depend upon the number of solute particles but independent of their nature. Colligative properties are of four types. Number one, just now we have discussed, it is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Second colligative property is elevation of boiling point. Third colligative property is depression in freezing point. Fourth colligative property is osmotic pressure. For these properties to be exhibited, three conditions should be fulfilled. First condition is the solution should be a dilute solution. That means colligative properties are exhibited by dilute solutions only. Second condition which should be fulfilled is the solute should be a non-volatile solute. Third condition is that this non-volatile solute should not undergo any kind of association or dissociation. So the first colligative property is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Just now we have derived P naught minus Ps by P naught is equal to Xb. That is, P naught is the vapor pressure of pure solvent, Ps is the vapor pressure of solution, and Xb is the mole fraction of solute. Now Xb is equal to Nb by Na plus Nb. So where Nb is the number of moles of solute, Na is the number of moles of solvent. Now substituting, we get P naught minus Ps by P naught is equal to Nb by Na plus Nb. Now we can conclude that this relative lowering of vapor pressure is depending upon the number of moles of the solute particles dissolved in particular number of solvent particles, but it is not depending upon the nature of the solute, and hence relative lowering of vapor pressure, that is P naught minus Ps by P naught, is a colligative property. Now Nb is equal to Wb by Mb. Number of moles is equal to weight of that component divided by molecular mass of that component. Na is equal to Wa by Ma. Now substituting in place of Nb, Na whenever required, we get. Now rearranging, we get P naught by P naught minus Ps is equal to Na plus Nb by Nb, or we can write it as P naught by P naught minus Ps is equal to Na by Nb plus 1, or we can also write Ps by P naught minus Ps is equal to Na by Nb, or we can simply put it as P naught minus Ps by Ps is equal to, in place of Na we can put Wa by Ma, Wb by Mb. Here P, yes, we can put it as P naught by P naught minus Ps minus 1 is equal to Na by Nb. So minus 1, P naught cancel, Ps by P naught minus Ps is equal to. So this will be P naught minus Ps, this will be Nb by Na, or this is equal to Wb by Mb to Ma by W. So relative P naught, this is equal to Wb into Ma by Mb. This formula is used for numerical problems. The next colligative property is elevation in boiling point. We should define boiling point first. Boiling point of a liquid is the temperature at which the vapor pressure of the liquid becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure. Always the vapor pressure of the solution is lower than that of pure solvent, that is PS is less than that of P naught. So the vapor pressure increases with increasing temperature. Hence the solution has to be heated more to make the vapor pressure equal to the atmospheric pressure. That means the boiling point of the solution is always higher than that of the pure solvent. Now, when we plot a graph between vapor pressure and temperature, let this be atmospheric pressure. This pressure is atmospheric pressure. Always the vapor pressure curve of solution runs below that of solvent, like this, because PS is less than that of P naught. So wherever this touches, that is, this is solvent, this is solution. So this will be P naught, this is PS. Now at this temperature, the solvent vapor pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure. Let this be T naught. At this temperature, the vapor pressure of the solution becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure. Let this be Ts. So T naught is the boiling point of solvent, Ts is the boiling point of solution. Therefore, we can conclude that Ts is greater than T naught. From the graph, it is obvious. So Ts minus T naught is equal to delta Tb, and this is only called as elevation of boiling point. Now we can see that, or we can write this: more is the lowering of vapor pressure, higher is the elevation of boiling point. I'll write this: more is the lowering of vapor pressure. Lowering of vapor pressure, we are writing P naught minus Ps. Higher is the elevation of boiling point. Elevation of boiling point is delta T. That means P naught minus Ps is directly proportional to delta Tb. But according to Raoult's law in relative lowering of vapor pressure, we have proved that P naught minus Ps is directly proportional to Xp. Therefore, from equations 1 and 2, we can write delta Tb is directly proportional to Xp, or delta Tb is equal to K into Xp, where K is the proportionality constant. But Xb is equal to Nb by Na plus Nb. Or when we consider a dilute solution, this is equal to Nb by Na, where number of moles of solute can be neglected with respect to number of moles of solvent in the denominator. When we express Nb in terms of Wb by Nb, Na in terms of Wa by Na, we can write this as Nb by Wa by MA or NB into MA by WA. Therefore, delta TB is equal to K into MA into NB by WA. If mass of the solvent, WA is the mass of the solvent, if WA is the mass of the solvent, this is equal to 1 kg, then NB by WA is molality of the solution. If WA is equal to 1 kg, then NB by WA is the molality of the solution, that is small m. Then we can write it as delta TB is equal to KB into small m. Where KB is the another constant, where KB is equal to K into MA. This KB is called as molal elevation constant. KB is called as molal elevation constant or ebuloscopic constant. Now we have derived delta TB is equal to KB into M. Now when molality of the solution is 1, M is equal to 1, molality can be defined as number of moles of the solute dissolved in 1 kg of solvent. Delta TB is equal to KB. Now we can define KB, the ebuloscopic constant, as the elevation in boiling point when the molality of the solution is unity. That is, 1 mole of the solute is dissolved in 1 kg or 1000 gram of the solvent. Now units of KB, KB from this equation we can put it as KB is equal to delta TB by M. So delta TB is in terms of Kelvin and molality is in terms of moles per kg. So unit becomes Kelvin, kg, mole inverse. As elevation in boiling point is depending upon molality, that is the number of moles of solute, and it is not depending upon the nature of the solute, it is a colligative property. We have to prove that it is colligative property. Again, KB is equal to RT0 square by 1000 LV, where R is the universal gas constant, LV is latent heat of vaporization of pure solvent. This is also equal to MA RT0 square by delta H vaporization into 1000. This is used for numerical purposes. Now we have to calculate the molecular mass of solute using colligative properties. Now molecular mass of solute is Mb. So now we know delta TB is equal to Kb into M or Kb into 1000 into WB by WA into MB, the formula for molality. Or MB is equal to KB into 1000 into WB by delta TB into WA. This is also used for numerical purpose. This way of finding molecular weight is called as ebullioscopic method. Kb is called as ebullioscopic constant or molal elevation constant, and this way of determining or calculating the molecular mass is called as ebullioscopic method.